Good afternoon YouTube, Ice587 here. As you can see in front of me here, I've got my cargo bike trailer. Recently I put a video up about this, just a little review. It's a pretty good trailer. And today I'm going to build a solar rack for it. Basically kind of like a roof rack for a car, but for the top of the trailer so I can mount my solar panel. So when I'm riding around, it will charge at the same time. So what I've got for this is, I've got 3 lengths of timber here, not thick, not too thick, pretty lightweight, pretty robust, so that'll do the job for my framework. I bought some T-brackets to mount the rack to. I'm going to use the support bar. There's a bolt that goes in the end now. I'm going to put that through and mount across. So what I'll do now is I'll have a measure up, and I shall cut on my wood and mark it up, and we'll go from there. Okay, so what I've done, if you can see here, I've mounted my T-brackets to the top. I've done that on both sides. I don't think you can see the other side. And what I've done then is taken my tape measure and measured the distance between the two, and I got 50 centimetres. What I've also done is measured the thickness of the wood and added twice that amount, so the lengths of wood that go across the trailer will come over the edge. Because what I'm going to do is mount the wood on the outside edge when it comes back. Therefore, when I'm putting the rain cover on the trailer, I can still get in here, and it's going to be a lot easier rather than having a piece of wood this side and I'm going to have to faff around getting my fingers in there. So what I'm going to do now is measure that up, mark it on the pieces of wood, and then I'll get back to you. Okay, so I've taken my tape measure, and on this piece of wood I've marked up my lengths across. Now I want 3 of those. I'm going to have one down here at the back of the trailer as a bar to support everything. I'm going to have one at this end of the frame and one at this end. What I've done now is I've measured roughly from the bracket to the back of the trailer, and it gives me probably about 55 centimetres, something like that. So I want a bit of overhang at this end. So I'm going to say that's about 70 centimetres. I think that's a pretty good length. So what I'm going to do now is, on another piece of wood, mark up my 2 side pieces. Okay, so on these 2 pieces of wood down here, I've marked up my frame, my rectangular frame that's going to fit on the top. What I'm going to do now is cut that, put all that together, and then I can average out on the height that I need to have coming off the back. And I can make my 2 back supports then, and then that'll practically be it all there. I can put it all together, and then we can go about mounting the solar panel. Okay, so here we are back again. I've made the frame, as you can see here, fits very snugly in between these 2 brackets. So what I need to do now is figure out roughly where to mount this on these brackets here, to then make using the other piece of wood, 2 bits to fix from here to here to hold it at a level. So I should do that now and get back to you. Okay, currently I've just it's just resting on the top at the minute with cable ties. I've cable tied this, just the last piece of wood in to keep it level, so I can just check out what it's going to sort of look like. Make sure this is level, so then I can figure out the height of this back post for the 2 that I need. So unfortunately I don't have a spirit level with me. However, I did download this little app, and that's good enough. It's good enough for me. I mean, the trailer itself, when connected to the bike, is at a slight angle, but that doesn't really bother me to affect overly. Yeah, so all in all, I'm quite happy with that. So what I can do now is grab my tape measure, if I can figure out where I put it. Yep, it's down here. And what I do is I'll measure from the bottom here to the top, and that's 50 centimetres. So now I'm going to need 2 more pieces for 50 centimetres, which I'm going to screw one this side and one this side, and that'll practically everything done. Once I've screwed that to there, and the frame to these brackets, I can then go about doing the solar panel. So I shall come back to you in a minute. Hey guys, I've cut my 2 pieces of wood at 50 centimetres each, and as you can see here, they're going to mount nicely on there. What I've done is measured 5 centimetres in from the edge, just to make it look a bit nicer. I mean, the screws I'm using stick out slightly, but what I've done is I've just reused some screws I had lying around rather than spending a bit more money. So I'm going to mount those 5 centimetres in each side. Put one there, and one's about there, give or take, and that will be the framework done. This piece down here is connected to the trailer via cable ties. What I'm going to do is probably leave it via cable ties, but I'll get some of those reusable ones, so I'm not constantly going through cable ties. But I mean, it's on there really well. I mean, I can hold on to that piece of wood and lift the whole trailer up, so it's not going to go anywhere. So what I'll do is I'll connect this, and then we can get the solar panel up. Okay, as you can see, I've fitted the back panels, back supporting braces to the trailer, so now everything is all sturdy. Spin it around if you can see that. Everything looks really good, nice and squared up. I'm quite happy with it, to be fair. Now I'm just going to think about putting a support bar across the middle, and then I've got my solar panel, which is here, and I'm going to mount it towards the back of the trailer. Originally I was thinking of putting it at this end, but what I'm thinking is put it near the back, because then if I'm riding into the sun, my shadow is not going to be casting a shadow across the solar panel. So if I put it near the back, I'm less likely to block it with my shadow. So what I'll do now is put a support brace across the middle, and I've got some holes in the back here, and I'll just figure out some way of fixing it to it. Right, I shall get on with that now. Guys, as you can see, I fitted this crossbar in here. It's a slightly bigger piece of wood, well, wider piece of wood, but the piece I had left originally, this piece, I've figured if I undo these 2 screws down here, this tilts up, so I can use this as a prop to hold it up, and then I can get into the trailer. What I'll do now is I'll quickly show you that this is mounted in a correct place for me to mount the solar panel, which fits roughly here. What I need to do is get some screw-in eyelets, and I'm going to screw them in the edges here and here, and then 2 at the back. I've got some bolts like this, which I'm going to put through these eyelets on the solar panel, put a bolt on there so they're permanently on there, and then I'm going to drop it into the eyelets, put a bolt on, and it's not going to fall off, and it will stay there, and that will connect that to the trailer. Yeah, so what I'll do now quickly is I'll pop on the cover, and we'll have a look at the whole thing now that it's finished and together. So it's a pretty good trailer itself. I'm just going to take it for a test. Unfortunately, it's just decided to pour down with rain outside, so I won't be able to do my test today. I've just knocked it off my stand there, sorry guys. Yeah, I won't be able to do the test today, but I will put it up. It's on this side. There we go, see, fits on nicely still, a little bit tight around these, but I mean, it's obviously not made to have a rack on, so, but no, I reckon it'll perform pretty good, to be fair. There's no weight in this wood yeah, I mean, the only weight is, it doesn't feel any heavier than lifting the trailer on its own. So all in all, I think it's a pretty good build, and most of it was free. The wood I found from some old fencing, and I took it off. It was in a skip. This wire will just run into the trailer, something along those lines like that. And yeah, the bolts, the screws that I used I already had. They're quite heavy duty, you know. They're like hex tops, as you can see here. But at least I know it's not going to come apart. All I've got to do now is, originally I had my reflectors connected to the circular frame here. So what I'll probably do is take off like these parts, the circular brackets on the back, and maybe just screw them straight to the framework on the wood, maybe put them a little bit higher up. I'm not really sure yet, but that's an easy job, anyone can do that one really. Just to show as well, let's see if the flag, safety flag still fits on, which I didn't really think too much about, because I don't really use it, to be fair. You should do, but yeah, it's not too bad. It just goes to the edge of the frame. If anything, I'll put, let me just spin it around and show you. As you can see, it's at a slight angle, but if anything I can put an eyelet in this frame here, just to hold it in place there as well, so when you drop it in, straight through that eyelet, straight through down, and in. But all in all, cracking build, I think. Really easy to do. Even if you didn't buy the stuff for free, or find the stuff for free, sorry, you can buy it quite cheap. I mean, the lengths of wood I had at B&Q were only like £1.85, something like that, like £2 nearly. 3 pieces of that piece of piss. These T-brackets were probably the most expensive thing I bought. Unfortunately I needed quite large ones, and they were £5.88 for the 2. The holes in them were very slightly too small, but I just stuck a drill piece through, bored them out a little bit, and this is what I've ended up with. So I think it's a pretty cracking thing. Thank you for watching. Good afternoon YouTube. It's been a couple of days since I built my rig, and the weather's come back out quite nicely, so I thought I'd bring it outside, let you have a look at it connected to the bike, and I'll give it a quick ride round, and you can see it doesn't really shake, nothing like that. You know, it's pretty fine on the way out here. So yeah, I'll just give you a quick show, as you've already seen. As you can see, this is the solar panel. It's all connected up to the trailer, as you can see. Lovely jubbly. I've added in the eyelets around the edges because I've got a bunch of cords, so for this section here I can put other things on. I've brought a few bits with me so I can show you that it works as a rack as well as the solar rack. So what I'll do now is I'll give it a whirl round and you can see how it does. As you can see there, works pretty nicely, and no problems with it at all riding. So what I'll do now is I'll take you off my stand here and take you over to the trailer, just so you can have another quick look. Okay, so here's the trailer itself. As I said, like, put all the eyelets along the edge, a couple on the middle, and underneath. Instead of using the bolts like I said I was going to, I've just put cable ties on. Quick release mechanism, you know, easily if I need to get it off in any particular hurry. I'm not really sure why I'd need to, but just seems a little bit easier to me. What I didn't realise before coming out is this wire from the solar panel actually hung down here and it was dragging around the wheel. So what I'll probably do is put an extra couple of eyelets just running down this edge here on the inside, and then I can tuck the wire in at the bottom. Okay, so what I'll do now is I'll load up the top and we'll take it for another spin. Okay, I haven't really brought too much with me today because all my camping stuff is sort of packed away from over the winter. But what I've managed to grab hold of is I've got a beach tent and my mini breeze blocker. So what I can do is sit those across here. Okay, what I've just figured is that that doesn't actually fit all the way along, so that could be a bit of a problem. If anything, I'll have to mount them this way. They'll cover the solar panel a little bit, but shouldn't be too much. Most of it will still be showing. I've got my little bag that I showed in my last video, the review of the trailer, with a few bits and pieces that I keep in. So as you can see here, I've got my bungee cords. So what I'd probably end up doing is like just wrapping the bungee cords around, because what they are is they're actually too big for the eyelets at the minute. So I'll probably end up getting some new ones so they can fit over nicely. But for now, this will do. Just whack these on nice and tightly. As you can see, the framework is holding up pretty well to the strain of the bungee cords. And what I'll probably do is end up putting one across. There's not really much point in me putting one across the other way. If anything, I'll put one here, like one to hold them that way. And then I put another one through the other way, just to stop them sliding side to side. I know this is a little bit of a bodge job here, but what I'll probably do, doing this now and seeing how it's working, is maybe put some brackets of wood across, so if things are too short like this, I'll still be able to sit them in. Okay, also just quickly say, I've put on the back, instead of putting my reflectors on for now, I have put on my light brackets, so I can just slide in my lights on the back, one on each side, and it'll do a nice job, as you can see there. And what I probably will still do is, like I said before, whack my reflectors on as well. So I'll leave those on there for now. It's a little bit loose, that one needs tightening up. Got my gloves and a few other spare bits and bobs. Okay, so what I'll do now is I'll give it a whirl around the park again, and you can see how it goes. Packed all the stuff away, left the bits on top, so let's go and see how it goes. This is my first test, I haven't actually done this yet, so wish me some luck. Okay guys, as you can tell, works pretty nicely. I'm pretty glad with it. For a build that probably only took me an hour or so to put together. If you have any questions about it, if you're going to build your own, whack them in the comment section below. Please like the video and subscribe for some more bike videos or solar energy videos. Going to have another couple of those coming up soon. All in all, the only other update I think I'll do for this is probably paint it black, paint all the framework black, and so it blends in with the trailer itself. I probably won't put an update video on that because I don't really see the point, but maybe I will. You never know. But yeah, like and subscribe please. That would be a really big help to me, and thank you for watching. Cheers.